In Broome County, a crash involving multiple vehicles shut down State Route 17 around exit 68 for some time yesterday afternoon. New York State Police say around 4:53 yesterday, a vehicle was traveling westbound when the operator crashed into the guardrail. 4 other vehicles were stopped or slowing down after the crash when a 6th vehicle came from behind and sideswiped each of the cars. No injuries were reported in the crash, and the road was reopened to traffic shortly before 6 p.m.